Hi, this is Steve. Back when I was doing my blog more often, I used to do something called remote viewing, which was basically reviews of videos and TV shows that I had watched. Um, and I just wanted to basically do one right now. I just watched, and you can see that, Cabin in the Woods from 2011. This was uh, co-written by Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard. Goddard was the director. And anyways, if you've already seen it, you know that not only is it a good scary movie, but it's also sort of a spoof of scary movies. Uh, you know what's going to happen, and there are characters, as in Scream, there are characters who know what's going to happen because they've done it before. The film plays with the standard concept of a group of teenagers or college students who, you know, obviously are in their 20s at least, who go off for a weekend to this cabin in the woods, and the usual horrible things happen. But this time with a twist. Uh, it's a lot of fun. I don't want anything I say is going to give, other than the basic premise of the film, is going to give too much away. Although the first 5 minutes of the film sort of give you an idea that something that is going to be a twist to the film. And anyways, I highly recommend it. The special effects, the makeup uh, uh, is great. The acting is is better than it is in a lot of these films. The writing is certainly a lot better because Josh Whedon is such a good writer. And as everyone who remembers Angel and Buffy, or have read or seen his other films, or read his comics, know that the dialogue is really good, and there's a lot of stuff going on, especially toward the ends of the film when things start going wrong. Uh, you have to watch really close to some of the scenes, especially things going on in the background. Uh, it's it's a lot of fun. I also have to recommend that you watch some of the extras, especially Marty's Secret Stash, which is hilarious. And I think it's called Why We Did It, or Here We Are, Why We Did It, which is Josh Whedon and again Goddard um, talking about why they made the film, why they made certain choices, and how they went about making the film. There are also other extras that really go into the effects, the makeup, etc. So I highly recommend that you watch it. And then if you have time, listen to the commentary by Whedon, um, where he again explains in detail, why they made certain changes and um, things as they went along. It's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend Cabin in the Woods. If you haven't seen it, go out and rent it, or download it from Netflix, or rent it from your local library if they're classy enough to carry it. The other two things that I quickly want to mention are a couple of TV shows which I really have enjoyed. The first one is, which I may have mentioned, and excuse me, in an earlier video, is Arrow on the CW. I have to admit, I don't know if I've ever watched anything on the CW before. Um, I'm one of those comic book fans who never watched Smallville. Um, I, I mean, I heard a lot about it. I actually have an acquaintance who was involved with the show, uh, but I don't know. It never really struck me. I mean, I've seen, I know Superboy, and it looked like kind of a little bit sort of a darker Superboy, although that's where DC goes. And I don't know. I think a big part of it was a lot of it had to do with Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor has almost never been interesting to me. I know people who watch Smallville who tell me differently, that the Luthor is a much more three-dimensional character in the film, and as are Clark and Lana and the Kents. So maybe one day I'll go back and and I watch it. I mean, we have them at the library, but I can't say that I really have an involvement. Anyways, all that being said, the Arrow on CW, which is based on DC's um, Green Arrow character. Green Arrow being one of those, I guess you call them third tier or second tier characters that most people outside comics may have heard of, um, but don't really know. Uh, anyways, the originally Green Arrow was sort of uh, Batman with bow and arrow. He had all these trick arrows and everything. He had the arrow car. Had a sidekick called Speedy. Oliver Queen was this wealthy playboy who had to survive on this island where he was shipwrecked and learned to shoot a bow and arrow. And when he came back, decided to use his skills to for good. Um, and in some ways, that's the premise of Arrow. Right now, is Oliver Queen was the here was the son of a very wealthy man. And the Queen family is involved in uh, a lot of businesses, and apparently some pretty shady ones. Um, and long story short, Oliver there's is on a boat with his father. The ship sinks. Oliver is washed ashore. There are other people, unbeknownst to him, on the island, and he spends the next 5 years trying to survive on the island, and again learns various skills that when he comes back, he has sworn to uh, basically clean up some things that his father left behind, correct the wrongs of his father. Uh, at least that's what he seems to be doing, and that's what he believes he's doing. But again, as with everything, uh, it's not clear as things go on that Oliver really knows the full story. I like it. I'm really bad at actor names, so I'm not going to pretend to know who they are. The guy who plays Oliver is really is very good. He has you know, the playboy sort of ne'er do well thing going down. He has that, and he also has the event, the dark vigilante type thing going on. Also, doing that. The Michael Keaton, uh, Christian Bale. I've made my voice very deep, so you can't recognize it's me, sort of thing. And it's interesting that the show is called Arrow, and that's what uh, Oliver uses as his weapon of choice. But he's simply known um, in the city as is called the Hood, because that's what he wears. He wears this dark green hood, and so that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of neat. And my only complaint, well, I have two complaints. First is that the cast is getting a little overwhelming. Uh, I mean, you have Oliver, his mother, his mother's new husband. You have Oliver's sister. You have his old girlfriends. You have his best friend. You have his best friend's family. Um, you have people who are working for the Queen, the Queen Company. There's a computer expert there. You have the uh, three or four people on the police force, and you know what? There are too many characters, and my understanding is that's the CW style, uh, and you have a lot of soap opera going on. But then again, you get a lot of that in comics. Um, I think, and I mean, maybe I don't remember it correctly, but they seem to have added um, an additional character in with this female police detective that Oliver knows. Maybe I just don't remember her from earlier episodes, but there's something going on there, and I think they have to either focus or get rid of a few. And my, if you're taking a vote, my vote is get rid of the sister. Um, I really don't think she adds anything. Yeah, it's it just seems to me that um, there's nothing going on there. The character doesn't seem to be evolving. Oliver does. You're seeing more depth in the mother. Um, you're seeing a growth in some of the characters, but this one I don't see it. I don't know if she's supposed to appeal to a younger demographic, and just because she has a nickname of Speedy, which wherever that comes from in the show, I don't recall, but that's her nickname. And anyways, that I guess ties her into I think his name was Roy Hopper, who was Speedy in the comic book and Green Arrow's sidekick. Well, I can't see her ever becoming the sidekick. I think it would just be it'd be too ridiculous at this point. So, anyways, all those criticisms out of the way, I highly recommend Arrow. Check it out on the CW. The other show, and this is going on a lot longer than I thought it would be. The other show I want to recommend is on BBC America, Ripper Street. Jack the Ripper seems to have disappeared after his final murder. If you're familiar with Ripperology, you know the prostitutes, you know their names, and so I won't go back into that. But apparently, while the Ripper may have gone or moved on or just be be sitting low, uh, you know, hiding out someplace. Um, the area of Whitechapel remains this very dim and dark place, where murders still happen, where you still have vigilantes in the street, you still have very Dickensian um, street urchins and pickpockets, very Fagin-like, nasty characters, using them to make money, prostitution and brothels, and lots of secrets going on. But it's quite good. The British have this down. BBC has that Victorian era down. If you're familiar with, Downton Abbey, if you're familiar with the Sherlock Holmes, the old Sherlock Holmes TV show, or anytime um, Doctor Who goes back to the Victorian England, uh, BBC has it down, man. They got the sets, they got the costumes, they got it. They sound very British, which is kind of cool. Um, and anyways, if you're into the Victorian era and everything, and a little bit, there's some mysteries and some murder and mayhem and things like that. Is It's really good. There's stuff going on. There's secrets and intrigue and everything like that, just as there is in the Arrow, but this is at a, a higher a higher level, and I highly recommend it. The show is really good, and as the more we learn about the history of some of these characters, um, the more I'm enjoying it. So, anyways, that's it. As I say, get a chance, watch Cabin in the Woods. It's scary, and it's a lot of fun, and horror fans are going to see a lot in it, especially in little scenes and moments that you know big genre fans aren't going to get. But even non-horror fans should enjoy the film. Uh, I recommend Arrow if for superhero fans, and I certainly recommend Ripper Street. And that's it for now. Anyways, this went on much longer than I had hoped. I hope I made some sense and just didn't continually ramble on. Anyway, so peace out, take care, have a good weekend, and enjoy the Super Bowl.